ICF, we are not just looking at the impairment, we are not just looking at, someone is diagnosed of stroke, or someone is blind, or someone is maybe had spinal cord injury.
I've done, whenever I do wheelchair assessments, I always do a very holistic approach, looking at their environment, their social needs, their work needs, what they want to do as a person as well, their interests, their hobbies, as well as what sort of chair they want. That's the main thing. But one thing I would like to say is that the WHO International Classification of Functioning, the ICF, reminds us that rehabilitation is about participation, not simply body function or equipment prescription. So it states in our sort of that's really our mandate and remit, really, to think about the participation of that person. I actually agree with you. The ICF is a very strong framework that clinicians can actually use to prevent failing a patient, because with the ICF, we are not just looking at the impairment, we are not just looking at, someone is diagnosed of stroke, or someone is blind, or someone is maybe had spinal cord injury. We are looking beyond that, and we are saying, what are the things that this person used to do before they will not be able to do because they have spinal cord injury, and because this injury has affected their ability to walk. What are the things in the society they may not be able to participate in? Let's say someone is interested in going to the mosque, going to the church, going to the bank, or even going to work, and with this level of consideration, where we become more holistic rather than just looking at what went wrong with the brain or what went wrong with the leg, and then we are considering the whole life of this person. And I think that is where the ICF have its strength. And I think also sometimes as clinicians, we are very focused on what we can correct that we are not even able to remember putting into consideration the ICF model. Definitely. I mean, you have to remember that the wheelchair user lives in that chair for up to 16 hours a day.
Some of them.
So I know I do. I spend probably 16 plus hours in my chair, and I need it to be comfortable. I need it to be at the right height, the right tilt. I need to have the right weight or frame to enable me to do things that I want to do.
Very true.
And some of these extras are actually, in clinic, the therapist can actually sort of think, that's too expensive, we can't fund that. But then again, if you're looking at preventative measures rather than sort of funding measures, having someone sat in the right chair, pushing the right way, and at the right height, can prevent shoulder injuries, arthritis, and long-term pressure sores, and all that sort of things. And those are equally, draining on the NHS funds as well.
What you just raised now is actually very important. When a patient is failed at one point, it actually doesn't end there. So our decision of maybe a particular provision or a particular accessory that would have made life better for that patient, or made things easier, or even prevented their condition from deteriorating, when we say we can't fund it, when we say we can't provide it because it's not funded, most times if the person end up basically deteriorating because they don't have that particular accessories, and what will happen is, on the long run, the NHS, we actually spend more. For instance, let's say what you talked about, let's say it's about pressure sores, and the person developed pressure sore, and you see the person will be hospitalized, which means hospital bed will be taken. The GPs, the doctors, and other healthcare professionals and nurses nurses would be involved in the care, which means they will be paid for doing that. And sometimes you can even have someone who may not be able to speak English, and they have to get an interpreter. That is another funding that has to come into it. And along the way, the transportation, moving the person on the ambulance or on the cab, that is another cost as well. And again, the person is losing out of working, or their potential return to work is now increased. The duration is increased, and that is another loss on the part of the government. So on the long run, a particular point of failure or refusal to provide an accessory that is needed to prevent deterioration can actually lead to cost, from what I've just narrated here, maybe like 10 times the actual cost of providing that equipment.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, really, that we each look at our own little bit of funding within the NHS.
Yeah.
We don't look at the sort of overall picture of it, of that person's care. You know, and how much money that would save. You know, just by getting the wheelchair right, it is, you know, would save thousands, you know, if not millions, probably, from the overall national budget for NHS and government too, as well. The one thing you alluded to earlier on about needing interpreters and people who can't speak English as their first language. Yeah, you know, I'm also thinking about those non-verbal customers who you know aren't able to sort of, you know, be as who aren't able to actually sort of speak up for themselves. And need us to be as good as therapists and as good clinicians as possible. In order to actually get the right chair, to get them comfortable, you know, and doing the things that they want to do. Because just because they're not non-verbal doesn't mean that they don't want to enjoy life. As well.
I actually agree with you. The other thing that that just came to mind as you were talking is, I feel as well that the involvement of the patients themselves. I think while there was a boom of this patient-centered care, and it's still like expected to be the best practice, but how much are we actually engaging patients in their own care? How much are they contributing to the care they receive? Because if you look at it, these people are wheelchair users who have they have lived experience, they know themselves and they know their body and all of that. I think it goes back to the first point, which is listening as well, because sometimes if we ask, if we listen, if we just like give them a little bit of more consideration beyond just ticking the box, I think we'll be able to like achieve more results than what is currently being obtained across the practice. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You know, and also keeping up with what